Imagine walking into a room and realizing that one of the most legendary actors alive is about to teach you how he becomes every unforgettable character you've ever seen on screen. That's exactly what happened in Riyadh. The air buzzed with excitement as Johnny Depp stepped up to share his process, how he transforms from himself into someone else entirely. Have you ever wondered how actors actually get inside a role? Like, what makes them believable? It's something so many people are curious about, but it often feels like a mystery. Well, in this video, we're breaking down Johnny Depp's masterclass at the Saudi Film Confex 2025. You'll see what he revealed, the 3 biggest lessons he shared about acting and creativity, and a few behind-the-scenes moments that might surprise you. One of his insights even flips the whole idea of what method acting really means. The event took place in Riyadh from October 22nd to 25th, under the theme, A Gathering That Transforms the Scene. It was part of Saudi Arabia's huge push to build its place in global cinema, and having Johnny Depp headline the masterclass added a layer of magic. His session, called The Genius of Embodying Different Roles, drew a packed audience of filmmakers, actors, and storytellers. Picture it. A legendary Hollywood actor sitting in front of a crowd of young creators, sharing his personal process, not as a celebrity, but as a fellow artist. That alone made this masterclass something special. So, what did Johnny actually talk about? Let's start with the first big takeaway, character beyond costume. He said that acting isn't just about the outfit, the makeup, or even the accent. It's about finding the emotional truth underneath everything. The clothes, the voice, the look, they all come later. What matters first is why your character does what they do. He described each character as a living, breathing person who needs to feel real inside you before they can look real to anyone else. Imagine you're playing a pirate, or a painter, or even a villain. You could get lost in the costume and the props, but if you don't know your character's reasons, it all falls flat. Depp said that's what separates performance from imitation, emotion from disguise. Then came his second lesson, using your personal archive. He explained that every actor has a collection of emotions, memories, and experiences that they can draw from. It's like an internal library. Whenever he takes on a new role, he opens that emotional archive to find pieces of himself that connect with the character. Maybe it's fear, or love, or grief. Whatever that emotion is, it gives life to the performance. And you know what? That's something we all can relate to. Think about a time you felt completely out of your comfort zone. Maybe it was starting a new job, moving to a new city, or even standing up for yourself. That feeling, of being unsure but pushing forward anyway, is what Depp means by using your personal archive. Those memories are the most authentic fuel for storytelling. The third lesson was perhaps the most unexpected. He said acting is never a solo journey. It's about listening. Listening to your director, your fellow actors, the environment around you. He said that the best roles he's ever played came from collaboration, not isolation. Some people believe great actors disappear into a dark room and stay alone for weeks to find their characters, but Depp called that a myth. He said real magic happens when you open yourself up to others and let their energy shape your performance. That's a refreshing perspective, isn't it? It reminds us that creativity isn't a lonely process. It's built on connection, feedback, and interaction. And here's the part one loved. Depp said that these lessons aren't just for actors. Anyone who tells stories, whether you're a YouTuber, a filmmaker, a writer, or even a student, can use these same ideas. For example, when you create something, ask yourself, what emotional truth am I trying to express? Don't just focus on the surface. Go deeper. When you make content or tell stories, use your real experiences. People connect with authenticity far more than perfection. And when you're working with others, whether it's a co-creator, editor, or friend, don't see their input as interference. See it as part of the creative process. Collaboration doesn't weaken your vision, it refines it. He also took a few moments to bust some common myths about acting and creativity. One of them was that, to find a pure character, you have to isolate yourself. He completely disagreed. He said isolation makes you lose perspective, and acting is all about empathy and awareness. Another myth was that you need massive budgets or fancy sets to create something powerful. Depp smiled and said, all you really need is honesty. The story comes first. Everything else is secondary. And my favorite one, people often think only actors can learn from masterclasses like his. But that's not true at all. The way he explained it, every storyteller can use these lessons to bring more humanity into their craft. Then he moved into what I like to call the pro tips section, those little behind-the-scenes gems you won't find anywhere else. The first one was to build your emotional index card. He suggested writing down moments in your life when you felt something deeply, pure happiness, anger, fear, joy, heartbreak. Keep a notebook or voice memo of those feelings. When you're creating or performing, you can revisit them to add depth and honesty. You don't need to be an actor to do that. If you're a content creator, think about keeping a list of moments that moved you, songs that made you cry, films that stayed with you, moments when you felt proud or broken. That's your creative archive. His second tip was about using the environment as part of the story. He said that location is more than just a backdrop, it can actually shape how a character behaves. He shared that filming in Saudi Arabia changed how he moved, spoke, and reacted. The landscape, the sounds, even the heat became part of the performance. That's something you can use too. Try filming or writing in different environments. Notice how your tone, mood, and perspective shift. Sometimes, changing your surroundings can bring out creativity you didn't know you had. Then came a powerful insight, collaboration across disciplines. At Saudi Film Confex, Depp wasn't just surrounded by actors. There were editors, producers, financiers, and even people from AI and tech backgrounds. He said innovation happens when people from different worlds share ideas. Even if you're working alone right now, find someone from another field, maybe a musician, a designer, or a photographer, and exchange ideas. Creativity multiplies when it's shared. He also added a simple, affordable way to practice your skills. He said you don't need fancy gear or Hollywood budgets. Just record yourself performing the same short scene or monologue in 3 different locations, like at home, in a park, and on the street. Then, watch how your tone, movement, and confidence change with each one. That's how you learn awareness and adaptability, and it costs nothing. By the end of his masterclass, you could tell everyone in the room felt inspired, but also grounded. He didn't make creativity sound like something mystical or reserved for the elite. He made it sound human, accessible, honest, and rooted in emotion. And that's what makes Johnny Depp such a fascinating figure. For all the fame and the characters he's played, at his core, he's a craftsman. Someone who believes that storytelling, whether through acting, writing, or film, is really about truth and empathy. So here's my question for you. What's one moment in your own life that you've probably ignored, but could actually fuel your creativity? Maybe it's a memory that still lingers, a regret, or a victory that changed how you see yourself. Think about it. Write it down. Because that's where your most powerful stories live. If you found this breakdown helpful or inspiring, go ahead and like this video, it helps a lot. Subscribe if you'd like to join me for more deep dives into art, creativity, and the people who shape culture in surprising ways. And if you're curious to see how Johnny Depp's iconic roles evolved from script to screen, check out the next video linked right here. It's a deep dive into the making of one of his most memorable characters, and it'll make you look at his performances in a whole new light. Thanks for watching, and remember, great storytelling doesn't start with fancy tools. It starts with honesty, curiosity, and the courage to listen.